Miss Tadero. Today we are going to read The Fox and the Grapes again. But today I want you to make sure that you have your copy so that you can follow along with me because we're going to read it together because tomorrow you're going to have to read it all on your own. So I want you to go grab The Fox and the Grapes if you don't have it, and I want you to pause this video so that you can come back when you're ready. Once you have The Fox and the Grapes, we're going to read along together. All right, so now that you have The Fox and the Grapes in front of you, as you see, I have it as well. We are going to read it together. And remember, we're going to look at some of those hard words that we may not know, but that's okay because we went over some of them with Miss Davenport, and we can work on sounding out some more that we're not sure. Okay, so today we are going to read and make sure we sound out those words if we need to, all right? So let's start at the beginning. We're going to start right here at the beginning, okay? The Fox and the Grapes, a retelling of an Aesop fable. That's our title. Remember, a fable is a short story, right? It's fiction. It's not real, okay? So one summer day, a fox was walking in the baking sun. His trip had been long, and he was traveling alone. There wasn't much shade, so he was very hot. He had not passed any streams, so he was very thirsty. He had not seen anything to eat along the way, so he was very hungry. At last, the path he was following wound through an orchard. Remember, we talked about what an orchard is. It's all those trees with fruit. The trees provided lovely shade. He thought he would be able to find something to eat and water to drink in the orchard. But when he reached the orchard, he saw that most of it had been picked clean. But then he spied something purple near the end of the orchard. When he got there, he saw it was a bunch of grapes ripening on a vine. The vine had gotten looped around one of the high branches of a tree. The grapes dangled down over the path. They looked ripe, juicy, and enticing. "Just the thing to quench my thirst, just the thing to ease my hunger," the fox said to himself. He stood on his hind paws and reached up for the grapes, but they were too high up for him to grasp. He tried pulling a large stone onto the path and standing on it. He still couldn't reach the grapes. He tried stacking 2 stones on top of one another. He still couldn't reach the grapes. Carefully, he placed a log from the orchard on top of the stones, but he still couldn't reach the grapes. Backing up a few paces, he ran and then jumped at the bunch of grapes. He missed it. He turned around and chanted, 1, 2, 3, go! And leaped for the grapes again. He landed on the hot, dusty path again without any grapes. A third time he tried leaping for the grapes. He had no more success on this third leap than on his first or second. At last, he tried running and jumping off the log on the stack of stones and grasped at the grapes. He landed again without having grabbed a single one. He tried a second jump, but only knocked down the pile he had made. He had to rest before restacking everything. Then he jumped toward the tempting morsel again. This time he felt the cool skin of a grape against his paw, but couldn't pull down even one piece of fruit. At last, he had to give up. He lay panting beside the path under a tree. When he had caught his breath, he got up and looked angrily at the grapes. Then he walked away with his nose in the air, saying, "I'm sure those grapes are sour anyway." The moral: it's easy to say you don't want something that you know you can't get. So today I want to leave you with one question when we're talking about this, right? So remember, we just read The Fox and the Grapes together. And I want you to look over here on this page right here. And I want you to look at this word enticing. This word enticing. I've underlined it for you, okay? So I want you to look at what this word means, right? So I want you to think. What did the author, the person who wrote our story, remember? What did the author do to help us understand what the word enticing means? So tomorrow, I want you to be thinking about this. I want you to think, what could this word mean? And I want you to just write it out to the side or circle where you think, what did the author do to help us understand this word enticing? All right, so we read the story, The Fox and Our Grape, and we have that question of that word enticing in our head. All right, so now we're going to move on to our word work. Your word work is going to be on that page called Babies, okay? So I want you to go grab that sheet. If you don't have it, go ahead and pause if you need to go grab it. It should be one of the next pages in your packet, and then we're going to work on that. All right, so this is what your page of babies should look like. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so we can see it all. So what I want you to do today, you're going to read this story on your own, just like you have the past couple of days. And what you're going to do is you're going to take either a highlighter or a crayon or even a pen or a pencil if you have one, and you're either going to highlight, you can circle. I just want you to find any of the words that have that normally have a Y, but because they're plural, they now have the IES. So remember, when we make a word that ends in Y plural, that means more than one, we're going to drop that Y and we're going to have IES. So this first word right here, I would say, is babies, right? So I could highlight it, I could underline it, I can do any of those things to just signify that I know that that's a word that starts with IES. But remember, don't completely scribble it out because you want to still be able to read the story. So I want you to read along and I want you to find all of those words that have dropped the Y and added IES.